Good evening and welcome to NDTV, your with breaking news. I am Ankit Tyagi. Ladies and gentlemen, I've spent the last 8 days in Karnataka trying to get a pulse, feeling of what the voters in this very important state are thinking. Today was the last day of the campaign. The campaigning has come to an end as far as the Karnataka voting is concerned. The shrill noise, all those big rallies, the road shows, which many also found very inconvenient in a city like Bengaluru. But all that now stops. The voters are now given time to think in peace on what they want to decide for their future, for the future of the state of Karnataka. It was a high-octane campaign with the Bharatiya Janata Party and the Congress putting it all in as far as the voting is concerned. Important state on the road to 2024. High stakes for both the BJP and the Congress. Of course, the survival of the regional front, JDS, would also be a key point. In this show this evening, we will decide and we will discuss what could be after the shrill of the campaign, the noise of the campaign, 6 important factors that could decide the winner for the state of Karnataka. Before we do that, let's just give you a sense of how the entire campaign, from the lows and the highs, went in the state of Karnataka.
बजरंग बली की, बजरंग बली की। मैं पूरे कर्नाटका के लोगों
से आपको 2000 रुपए
चुनाव में भी
कभी देखी थी।
Because of Modi ji and because of Bommai ji and because of me, all Lingayat community leaders are going to support, voters also with us, and 101% they will support BJP.
This government has made itself known only by the epithet 40% Sarkara. That is not something a government should be known for.
कांग्रेस ने जब भी मोदी जी के खिलाफ इस तरह की विषैली भाषा का उपयोग किया है, उनको मुंह की खानी पड़ी है.
All right, so whatever the leaders had to say, they have spoken. Now the people have to decide. But how important is Karnataka in the larger scheme of things? That idea you will get about the muscle part, the entire machinery that was put in by those deployed by both these political parties to try and win the hearts and minds of the people. Just take a look at how this entire campaign went down. Prime Minister Narendra Modi did 19 rallies and 6 road shows. That's how important this entire election is for the Bharatiya Janata Party. Amit Shah, the Home Minister, 16 rallies, 15 road shows by Amit Shah as well. JP Nadda, the BJP President, 10 rallies and 16 road shows were done by him. Overall, the Bharatiya Janata Party, with their national leaders, local leaders, they did 206 rallies and 90 road show in a span of about 4 weeks to make sure that their messaging goes to the voters of Karnataka. How did the Congress fare in this entire game? Mallikarjun Kharge, the president of Karnataka, the Dharti Putra, his home state, he did 40 rallies across the state, more than 80 years old. Rahul Gandhi, I beg your pardon, ladies and gentlemen, 23 rallies. He's back in the thick of the action as far as Karnataka is concerned. Priyanka Gandhi did 22 rallies and road shows. Sonia Gandhi came right in the end, just day before she addressed one rally in the very important area of Hubballi. Now, in all these rallies that the political parties did, we kept hearing few words that, in the campaign. What were the key words which were used, issues that were used in this political campaign that will give you a sense of how and what political parties are giving an importance to? Bajrang Dal, Jai Bajrang Bali was something which was also heard. The Pay CM campaign of the Congress party, 40% Sarkara is something that was thrown in as well. 91 galis. Prime Minister, in fact, spoke about this. Sovereignty issue, which Sonia Gandhi spoke, and the BJP has taken offense to it. The Kerala story, Vish Kanya, corruption, double engine Sarkara is something that was thrown in. Now, snake, jibe, nalayak, 5 guarantees Congress kept speaking about. Nandini versus Amul was one key important issue that you kept hearing across this campaign. And then, of course, for the Congress, which was trying to make it hyper-local, Kannadiga pride is something that the Congress party banked on. This was something that was spoken about. So this largely gives you a sense of how this entire election campaign and what were the key issues that were highlighted by each political parties. But what issues resonate with the voters on the ground? After the noise of the campaign is over, my colleague Shrija in Bengaluru caught up with some first-time voters on what are the issues that they, in fact, feel would be important when they go ahead for this election.
On a special programming here on NDTV, we have special guests. In fact, these are youngsters who are going to vote for the first time on May 10th. How excited are you?
I am just excited that I am voting first time.
Okay. What are you voting for?
I just want to change my area. I just want make changes in my area so that when it rains, the flood, it will flood.
Okay, civic woes is what you're talking about. What about you?
Same civic issues only. During rainy seasons, there will be more floodings, and administrative system is not proper in our area, and garbage systems also not proper in our area. So we are looking out to good administrative systems in the area.
Okay. As a youngster, what are you looking at?
Okay, I think I'm looking at 2 major things. One is like improved government school facilities, like hygiene aspects, like basic facilities and amenities needed for the students. And the other thing would be like there are a lot of youngsters who are graduating from engineering and other degrees, but they are not able to get their jobs. So increase in employment and the improved government schools is what I am hoping for.
Okay, so I see that you are in your, what are you studying?
Engineering.
Second year?
Yeah.
Okay, so are there fears looming in terms of unemployment already?
Yeah, I think I see a few of my like seniors who have not got placed, and a few of them, even though they have skills, there are not many industries where they can work. So some of them choose masters, go abroad, and some of them choose other jobs, family businesses and stuff. So they don't actually work what they have trained for and what they have studied for all those years.
Maybe you need a lot of more upskilling centers is what you're saying. What about you? How do you feel excited in terms of, you're going to vote for the first time? What are your, the kind of changes that you're looking at?
So I am expecting the BBMP election to happen. From the past 2 years, the BBMP election has not yet happened, and the people are really confused. Even for the municipal issues, they have to contact the MLA, and it is very difficult also. So we need a municipal councillor who can take care of all these issues, and the BBMP election should happen.
I know it's a joke, right? You don't know who your councillor is for the area. It's been for so long that you don't really, you haven't seen an election that's happening, and now you're straight looking at the assembly elections. What about you? What are the kind of changes that you're looking at in your ward?
First of all, one of my major issues in my constituency is the public commuting is not very organized.
Seamless.
Yeah, seamless, and I would be voting for more connectivity, and I would be voting someone who can bring communal harmony.
So you heard what students were saying. Communal harmony, better transportation. They were talking about employment, jobs, education. Did you hear too much of it in the campaign by the leaders? I think that's where the disconnect actually comes from the campaigning and the issues that political parties try and rake up on the campaign trail. Before, in fact, we put out our X factors for the discussion, the swing factors, let me introduce our guest today. So we have decided not to, in fact, invite today the political leaders. We have heard too much from them. So let's just get some expert opinion from people, those who have been watching this election very, very closely from the ground. I have Mr. Rahul Verma, fellow CPR India, joining us this evening. B.S. Arun, senior journalist. T.M. Raghav, very well known face. You must have seen him with his reports on NDTV from the ground. Has been getting us the pulse. He's editor, BQ Prime. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's just, for the discussion, in fact, just put out the big swing factors that we think could swing this election one way or the other. Factor number one, as far as this election is concerned, the corruption and misgovernance, the 40% Sarkara, the Pay CM campaign has those charges stuck as far as Mr. Bobai is concerned. Swing factor number two, the caste equations. Karnataka, believe it or not, is in many ways more well entrenched as far as the caste politics is concerned, even than the North Indian states of Bihar and Uttar Pradesh. Will the traditional caste dynamics hold in this election? That will be also an important factor. Religious polarization versus appeasement. While the BJP says that the Congress is asking for ban on Bajrang Dal as part of their appeasement politics, the Congress is accusing the BJP of religious polarization. Will polarizing issue trump local issues? That is going to be an important factor in fighting within the major players. The Congress, we don't know yet who's going to be the chief minister. Both Siddaramaiah and DK Shivkumar keep talking about their ambition. Meanwhile, many defections we have already seen as far as the BJP is concerned. Will that have an impact on the election? And then, of course, the Modi Brahmastra, which was unleashed by the Bharatiya Janata Party right in the last 2 weeks of the campaign. Will Modi magic help BJP beat the anti-incumbency? And an important factor, that is number 6, is the regional satrap. Survival of the regional player. Will JDS emerge as the joker in the pack? Let's, without any delay, go across straight to our panelists who are joining us this evening. I want to start by asking you, Veera Raghav, because you've been on the campaign trail as well. Let's just take these factors one by one. The factor number 1 that we were talking about, has this entire campaign, pay CM 40% Sarkara, has it seeped in as far as the people are concerned? How important is it going to be when people go and press that button on 10th of May?
I think an impression has been created, and I think corruption is widely an issue at the grassroots, but is it a voting issue? You've got to go back to our CSDS Lokniti opinion poll as well there, Ankit. While corruption is an issue at the grassroots, it may not necessarily be a voting issue. It may not be the single most important issue on the basis of which the voters decide their ballot. That's according to that CSDS poll, and that's perhaps the only scientific indication we have to answer your question.
Right. So while the Congress has put in their energy and focus on this, whether it yields political dividends, that is yet to be seen. But if I can bring you, Rahul Verma, will the traditional caste dynamics, because this time, like in old Mysuru, we have seen the Bharatiya Janata Party, putting in a lot of effort to try and win some vocal Liga votes. There has been possible talk of some breakaway as far as the Lingayat factor is concerned, which was firmly behind the Bharatiya Janata Party. What is your sense? Are the traditional, voting patterns of caste, are they holding up, or is there going to be, major breakaway factions as far as this is concerned?
Thank you. I don't think we'll see any big change or shift in how different caste groups have been voting in Karnataka. Yes, see, in electoral politics across this country, caste identities play a crucial role. They are building blocks of politics and political parties. But caste alone does not explain election shifts, right? And so when we try to study elections or analyze elections, we shouldn't be looking at that, caste alone wins or loses elections for political parties. There may be, when parties win, they win across caste group or gain across caste group. When parties lose, they are most likely to lose across caste group. So there is talk of Lingayat vote, whether it's going to fragment or not in this election for BJP. I don't think that's going to happen. A large portion of Lingayat vote is going to stay with BJP, and same with the Vokalika base, which is largely going to stay with JDS and Congress. Party and caste relationship are made over a long period of time. And so any fragmentation or any shifting can only come if there are big issues related to that caste identity, which comes up. And I don't think anything like that has come.
No, but Rahul, has this whole gamut of the Bharatiya Janata Party to try and bring that reservation issue, has that had any impact as far as these caste preferences are concerned?
See, all parties will also try to go beyond their traditional metrics. Bharatiya Janata Party will try to consolidate its Lingayat vote bank and try to bring some Vokalika. And by doing, say, 2% reservation for Lingayats and 2% for Vokalika, I don't think it's going to bring a substantive change in how these communities have been voting. There might be minuscule shift here and there, but I don't think big shifts will take place. Just to give you an example,
Right.
in 2018, just before the election, Siddharamaiah, as the chief minister, promised separate religious identity status to Lingayats. And Lingayats didn't shift to Congress. They stayed largely with the BJP, right? So those loyalties are built over a long period of time. They don't just go away.
Very well entrenched caste loyalties. It will be difficult to break them in the course of one or two elections. But B.S. Arun, a lot of talk about the Congress possibly giving away too much room to the Bharatiya Janata Party right in the end, like at the death overs of this campaign with issues like Bajrang Dal. The BJP, possibly which was gasping for air, got oxygen with all those issues. Has those issues had an impact on the voters in your, appreciation? The Bajrang Dal issue, Prime Minister talking about Jai Bajrang Bali, has it in any way polarized the voters, let's say, outside the traditional coastal belt as well?
It is true that people may not like personal attacks, which the Congress did, as well as, bringing up the communal issues, which both Congress and the BJP did. True, it might have hurt the issues like equating Bajrang Dal with PFI might have hurt some the section of the Hindus. But then if you take the history of Karnataka, the communal issues, Hindutva or any such issues have not impacted the elections, at least so far. Over the years, we have seen it is mostly caste and other issues, the issues on the ground, like price rise, infrastructure, corruption. These issues, of course, corruption is a major factor this time, unlike in most of the previous times. So these issues, especially those on the ground, I think will matter more than the communally related issues that, even Congress has sort of brought up in this election.
TMV Raghav, while the entire discussion largely focuses on the BJP and the Congress, you interviewed Mr. Devegowda and Mr. Kumaraswamy. How important and what is the role that they are likely to play? Because at this moment, it is also a battle for survival as far as the regional satraps are concerned. The JDS is concerned whether they are able to touch 30, 35 and be kingmakers, or is this going to be an election which possibly will be decided for a majority on the cost of the JDS?
Well, it's not just about the JDS, right? It's also about the Congress. If you look at last 2018 statistics, Ankit, out of the 104 seats that the BJP won, the Congress came second in 85. And out of the 37 seats that the JDS won, the Congress came second in 22. So you see, the Congress fights two separate battles in Karnataka, which is why you have the combination of vote share issues. That is, the Congress could technically get more vote share, but not more seats, because the BJP fights its battles with the Congress fights the JDS and the other bastions. And remember, for both the top Congress leaders, Siddharamaiah as well as D.K. Shivkumar, both from the old Mysore region, both from the Kaveri heartland, both from the JDS bastion. So it's a battle of prestige for them. For instance, a seat like a district like Mandya, 2018, the JDS wins 7 of the 7 seats. The Congress has to break and wrestle those seats out if it wants to get those numbers. So I think that's an extremely crucial battle. And as Rahul pointed out, I think the caste dynamics are extremely important here. But as Arun rightly pointed out, corruption is a very important issue, much bigger than what we have seen in Karnataka in the past. Remember, this is a state with the richest number of MLAs. Money power is something that we've seen as journalists play out enormously in Andhra and Karnataka, largely over the last decade or so, maybe perhaps from 2005-06 onwards. As journalists, we've noticed that. So while you've not seen corruption become such a major issue like it has in a Tamil Nadu, where you've got a DMK routed out or an AIDMK routed out, you've not had that in Karnataka. So far, the caste arithmetic is extremely important. And I think while there's been enormous focus on the Lingayat vote and how it plays out for the BJP, how the Vokkaliga bastion is going to vote could well determine the numbers at the end of the day.
Absolutely.
Not just in terms of stability, and I'm not talking in terms of JDS emerging kingmaker. I am talking in terms of the Congress getting the numbers, and within the Congress, if they do, who's going to get the top job? That would also
that possibly could be the difference between let's say, Congress party, going the distance and forming a majority government or not. That will be very, very important on May 13th. Rahul Verma, if we can bring your attention on the other big factor, which the Bharatiya Janata Party now uses in every election, that is Narendra Modi, the face of Narendra Modi as the X factor for the BJP's campaign. We just showed our viewers, he did, more than 20 rallies and road shows, largely taking the campaign upon his shoulders, because at this moment, at least, the Bharatiya Janata Party has not projected a chief ministerial face in absence of Mr. Yediyurappa actively fighting this election.
Absolutely. See, Prime Minister Narendra Modi remains one of the largest vote aggregator of our times. There's no doubt about this. When he contests, and especially during Lok Sabha elections, he can pull BJP 4-5 percentage point in any state just by his own popularity. But does his magic plays in the same way during state elections? I don't think so. Does his magic plays in the same way when BJP government in the state is on the back foot on charges of corruption and non-performance? I don't think so. But Prime Minister Modi nonetheless tries to lead from the front. Even if the party is likely to be defeated, he's one of those campaigners and one of those politicians who will put 101% of his energy on the campaign trail and will try to lift up the party so that the campaign becomes really, really tough. And BJP at the moment in Prime Minister's leadership does not basically give anyone easy victory. It basically makes the opposition party sweat for the victory. So, Prime Minister campaigned in Himachal Pradesh and many other states where BJP could not win. And especially if you look the track record from 2018 in assembly elections, BJP has been facing trouble, and especially in states where it has been an incumbent. So, Prime Minister alone cannot catapult BJP to a victory, especially if the state government is facing some of the charges as other panelists mentioned. But it's going to be a tough fight for the Congress.
It's going to be a tough fight for the Congress as well. But very quickly in conclusion, B.S. Arun, like we are talking about the Prime Minister, so unless the Prime Minister himself is on the ticket, there is a limited impact that we see, because we have seen that in the 2019 elections in Orissa, voters are very smart. They voted for the BJD for the assembly election, but voted for Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the Lok Sabha election. Is that the kind of sentiment that we also see in this election in Karnataka? Prime Minister may be good in 2024, but 2023 is not his election.
Well, this also happened in Delhi twice, 2015 and 2020. And the voters in Karnataka had shown that in 1985, as long back as 1985. You may remember that in 1984, Rajiv Gandhi-led Congress came with a huge majority, riding on the sympathy wave. And the next year, within 70 days, Ramakrishna Hegde's Janata Party came to power. It beat all the expectations. And then, in 2018, Modi also came in campaign, but then the BJP could not make it, win a majority in Karnataka. So it would be difficult to say, because, rather I would like to say that, it's difficult to ensure a Modi factor will also work on the ground in an assembly election. And we have seen it over the years.
And that too,
BJP has never won a majority here.
And that too, when you don't have a stall leader like Yediyurappa on the ticket as well for the Bharatiya Janata Party, which was quite an important factor as far as the BJP's success is concerned. Thank you, gentlemen, for taking the time out and speaking to us on these various issues of Karnataka. We'll have to wait and see what actually and how many, it's because elections are not won or lost on one issue. There is a combination of those. But before I say goodbye, very quickly, why is this Karnataka election so talked about? Why is it so important in the scheme of 2024? Because, ladies and gentlemen, it's a do and die battle for the Congress party. It's a must-win battle for the Congress if they have any hopes for 2024. If Congress wins, they would have more bargaining power as far as the united opposition which wants to take on Narendra Modi in 2024 is concerned. For the BJP also, it's a must-win battle. They want to retain the only state that they have south of Vindhyas, that's Karnataka. A prestige battle for the Prime Minister as well, because he's taken it upon himself. He's leading the charge as far as the BJP is concerned. And remember, 28 Lok Sabha seats come from this state. And that's the reason why you see all political parties and their top leaders getting their hands dirty in the campaign of Karnataka. All right, the voting is on 10th. The results are on 13th. NDTV will get you the ringside view and the fastest result. Thank you so much for tuning in this evening. Good night.